Good morning to a glorious day, 357. We had rain this morning, which never goes amiss, like a bit of rain. It's dried out already. We've emptied the actual swimming pool into the irrigation tank. Showman's in there, unfortunately, taken off more bad workmanship. So that's what happens when a blown plaster lands up leaking water. So we've got to take a large proportion of that wall off. As you can see by the damp patches that are already appearing. Those wet patches are where the water's seeped behind and is obviously started coming through those white holes. The white marks you can see on the wall itself is where the waterproof we've had put into the mortar has been trying to calcify itself and seal the holes. So water's been getting behind, and it's obviously been finding the weak spots and trying to get through, which is what this white stuff does. So it does look and seem as if the product we've been using does actually try to work. However, it can't combat someone's poor workmanship. So I think what's happened is they've not put the cidercrete on properly. They've not given it time to cure. And they've also put on the plaster too thick, too soon. You've got to be putting on sort of half an inch, let it cure, half an inch, let it cure, half inch, let it cure. So we've got the same problem this side slightly. Here's all good, but we start getting a slight cracking here as well. And again on the side, we're getting the same white marks. So we need to get that off. We've got a mason coming here tomorrow to finish that off. And then the hope in the next week or two is to start getting the actual pool product put on. I need some ideas from you guys on what to do with regards to the coping stone and this part here. What we were meant to be doing was this piece here has actually got a gutter, a drain going all the way through it. So that was meant to be completely smooth and disc grinded through, so the water coming off the patio would go into that drain, and that would happen all the way around. So as you can see here, exactly the same thing here. There's a bit of 2x4 in here that would be cut, and the water from the patio would go into the actual gutter, and all of it would be fed into the irrigation tanks over here, which we've undone today. As you can see, we've got about 10 foot. So the width of this patio is about 10 feet. And as you can see, it's about 20 foot long. And at the moment, we've got lots of water in there. So again, what we're going to be doing, obviously, is every time we want to pump the water out now, we're going to pump it into the irrigation tank. So when the pool is finished, we're going to pump that straight back into the swimming pool. That's the aim. That will hopefully keep some of the costs down. And as you can see, this white line you can see going through here, that is where the concrete is quite thin, because again, there's another gutter underneath here, which is U-shaped, going all the way around the pool. It's slightly cracked all the way along here, look. Then it detours around here and then goes back the other way. And what happens is they drop through the floor. It's 4-inch pipe in there, drops through the floor and comes out into the trough. We call it the trough. This is meant to be an endless pool, so obviously the water is meant to go off this end here. So this stops it coming in. It will go around, off the sides, and then down here we have 4-inch pipes coming out. So the water coming from the pool will go in, pour through, and then be regurgitated into a hole in the middle of the actual the trough itself, which I'll show you. And that will take it back into the pump room and obviously back out through the jets in the floor here. So there was a plan, but obviously this is obviously setting us back. We need to get this done, get it redone, and then we need to start applying the pool products. We've got a mason coming out to redo this tomorrow and Thursday, with a view to hopefully next week starting to apply the pool product that we brought in, which I showed you yesterday, which is called cidercrete. We do have a little bit of water coming into the pump room, which we've seen. We've managed to get it out. We've obviously analysed it. It doesn't seem to be coming through the walls, which is great news. It seems to be coming through this horrible hatch. So I need to replace the hatch. So I need to try and get it out and replace it. So either it's a like-for-like replacement or something different. So anybody got any ideas as to where on the island does, ideally, lightweight panel doors. These ones are like a bucket. You fill them with concrete, so they're bloody hard to get out and they're heavy to get out, which is good in a way, but obviously when you're trying to pull them up and you pull them at that slight angle, it breaks the teeth off the bottom, which then creates a weakness in and around where the rubber gasket is, and that's where the water is coming from. So first of all, the contractor that I employed right at the very beginning set these in, but they mask and taped all the way around a lid on it to stop them getting covered. But what they didn't do was remove the mask and tape from the outside, so the concrete's not bonded with the plastic, and as a result, we have water going down the sides, and also the gasket issue as well. So we're going to have to bust that one out, put a new one in, use some form of industrial concrete stroke silicone to make sure that it beds in and it's sealed, and that might eradicate the problem. But anyone got any other ideas as to what's out there on the market that's better, then we're open all ears, that's for sure. Here, with regards to this side, because the laying of the concrete wasn't done as well as it should have been done, we're now considering putting coping stones all the way around the pool. So actually taking the pool up so the water doesn't come over, which means these drains aren't going to be needed. It also means we'd have to finish from the coping stone to here with something. So either filling it with concrete and then plastering it, and then painting it a different colour, or again concreting it and tiling it with mosaics. So again, any ideas you guys, hit me in the comments below as to what you think. Obviously cost has to be bared in mind, but on top of that, future maintenance. I don't really want to be sitting here grouting mosaic tiles that keep popping up, but if that is what looks great and that's the option, then send me some pictures, give me some ideas. I'd like to see what you think. So anyway, so we've got to do this side here. As you can appreciate, that's got to go all the way down as low as we physically can, and it's pretty much where we've stopped at the moment here, so all the way down to here, all the way along. And then we've also got break off from here to around about here, so it's not a big bit here, so that's got to be done as well. Once they're done, obviously it's down to the mason to get the scratch coat back on, and then hopefully I've got to try and pin down the pool man to ensure that he can get the product into the pump room, so that we can actually then start getting the plaster stroke waterproof material on here and fill that water. I don't know if it's the same with the product I bought, but Diamond Bright, for instance, once the actual product's been applied to the wall, you really need to fill with water quite soon after that's happened, otherwise you start getting cracking and weaknesses. So I'm not too sure if the new product that I bought is the same, but obviously if I get the mason to start coming in and sealing and plastering the whole surface, and we're going to be another 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 weeks, for instance, for the guy to come and fit the pool product, which at the moment is likely to happen, then we might cause ourselves more long-term problems for trying to do something too quick. My pool man was meant to come out yesterday, and again he didn't arrive, so that seems to be a common thread on the island. Everybody seems to be too busy and unfortunately over promises and under delivers. I spoke to him on Monday. I'd much rather he just said, look, I'm just too busy at the moment, you need to find someone else. Gutted, but at least I know where I stand. He said, no, I still want to do it, but I do have 2 pools on at the moment and I don't know when I can get to you. You must know when you can get to me. You can either get to me tomorrow or tomorrow afternoon or next week, or either way, you know, but you don't even get that commitment. So I think my advice to you is, if you get someone that is doing that to you, then the chances are that's telling you that you're going to have some unfortunate issues moving forward and committing to being here and finishing the job. So just be careful of that. The mason that's going to be doing tomorrow and Friday, hopefully we'll come in this afternoon to do the garage opening. That's blocks up either side. We've got to close that gap by about 9 inches, 8 to 9 inches, so we're probably going to have to do 4 inches either side to keep the garage door central. It'll be so easy, or so much easier, to put 8 to 9 inches on one side and plaster once, but I just don't. It's just going to put the garage off of centre and it will do my OCD in, so we need to do 4 inches either side, so it's a lot more work, but it should be done properly. That's exactly how it should be done. We had quite a bit of rain this morning, so the other aim today, obviously once that's been broken off in the pool, is to get all the weeds up if we can. But really for me, the main thing is getting the pool taken back, ready for plaster, getting the garage entrance sorted out if the mason can arrive today. Sand, by the way, it's gone for the bloody roof. I phoned up to try and get 6 meters of sand because that's all we really need. First quote, 1,300. I was paying 1,100 this time last year for 12 meters. They're now quoting 1,300 for 6 meters. Bloody hell, what is going on in this world? So anyone that wants to build at this present time, you are going to be experiencing some serious cost differences compared to this time last year. Near on double for everything, which means concrete's going to be the same, blocks are going to be the same, cement, sand, anything you need on this island. Bear in mind, most of it is concrete. You're going to be hemorrhaging quite a bit of cost, which is a real shame. So, but anyway, what else did I want to show you before I shot off? There was something else. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, it'll come to me, I'm sure. But I'll show you a little bit later on. You saw the doors yesterday, so that's unfortunately something we're going to have to try and rectify today if we can. Other than that, I'll check in a bit later on. I'll try not to bombard every day. I think I might even just do a video every 2 to 3 days rather than one that's going to be repetitive and talking about the same thing, or at least when we have things done. So today, hopefully the garage door will be done, we can get that filmed. I'll film obviously once we've obviously pulled off all the actual scratch coat from the pool. Yeah, and then obviously I'll report in tomorrow as and when we start getting the rest of it done. So